The newly appointed acting Minister of Police, Professor Firoz Cachalia, is expected to assume the role on Friday this coming week. He is expected to retire from his position at the University of the Witwatersrand at the end of the month and immediately start his acting tenure in the police portfolio. Cachalia's appointment comes after President Cyril Ramaphosa placed the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, on immediate leave of absence. This following allegations made by KwaZulu Natal Provincial Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi that Mchunu has links to shadowy figures and that he was also meddling in police operational matters. President Ramaphosa's appointment of Cachalia in terms of Section 91, subsection 3 and paragraph C of the Constitution has been met with mixed reactions, and that's an understatement. That section enables the President to appoint up to 2 ministers from outside the National Assembly. For more on that, I'm joined now by Dr. Mthanti of uMkhonto weSizwe. We will, of course, at a later stage bring in Professor Dirk Kotze for some political analysis. Doctor, thank you and welcome, Dr. Mthanti. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Okay.
You are from uMkhonto weSizwe Party and you have brought an urgent application for direct access to the Constitutional Court, and I suppose that underscores the urgency with which you are treating this matter. There are a few decisions that the President has taken in relation to this matter that you are seeking, whose constitutionality you are seeking to challenge. Briefly outline those for us.
Well, I think good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners. Thank you for asking me to just clarify that there are 3 decisions that we're taking on review in the Constitutional Court. Number 1, the placement of Mr. Mchunu on special leave. Number 2, the appointment as acting minister of Professor Cachalia. Number 3, the appointment of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry.
Yeah, so let's go through them one by one. The leave of absence decision. The way I understand it, is it your argument that there is no legal basis or constitutional basis on which that decision can be taken?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. There's no legal basis. The Constitution is very clear. The President can appoint or he can dismiss. He doesn't have powers to place on suspension or on leave. And in this case for us, I think it's particularly important because he argues the allegations against the minister are unproven. That's the argument. Our argument is it's very clear the minister lied to Parliament. That is not questionable. Number 2, the minister exceeded his powers by issuing instructions for the political killings task team to be disbanded. That can only be done by the National Commissioner. He exceeded his authority. So on both of those, the minister clearly has no explanation and the President can act. But furthermore, sometimes presidents act on intelligence reports, on different sources of information. They don't need the minister to be proven beyond reasonable doubt to be guilty to act. They serve at his pleasure. So the reason he's advancing for placing Minister Mchunu on special leave are clearly spurious.
Yeah, I find it interesting that in terms of the reasons that, in your view, should have led to an immediate dismissal, you are foregrounding what he said to Parliament in relation to whether or not he knows this Mr. Brown Mokgotsi.
Yes.
And you see that as misleading Parliament. And then the other one that you mentioned has to do with the disbandment of the political killings task team, which you say oversteps the minister's responsibilities. But is it to say that you are willing to concede that at least on the allegations of these links with criminal syndicates, that is a bit murky, and you are willing to concede that point and at least give the President the benefit of the doubt on that one, that allow the investigations to play themselves out?
Well, not necessarily. I think we have to give the space to the police to do their job.
Yeah.
They supposedly wanted to make an arrest, according to media reports, of both the minister and General Sibia, and somehow they were thwarted. we need to give General Mkhwanazi, the police commissioner, space to actually just do their job, which is bring those who are involved with criminals to book, and they need to appear in front of a court of law. And that is exactly what, in our view, the president should have stated, instead of wanting to appoint commissions of inquiry, saying ministers are not yet proven guilty, or, who is going to prove them guilty? Himself. The only way they can be proven guilty is if they're arrested and charged and face a court of law.
Sure.
And what is he saying? He's only going to wait until the court of law pronounces whether they're guilty or not before he removes them.
So just because you're there now, and I wanted to go through them sequentially, but because you're now already talking about the Commission of Inquiry, what are you challenging there? There is a law that empowers the president to appoint commissions of inquiry. Even in the Constitution, it's one of the functions that he can undertake.
It's at his discretion. It's at his discretion.
So what are you
appointing a commission of inquiry. We're challenging the judicial nature of it. General Mkhwanazi did not just accuse the police minister. He accused the NPA, accused correctional services. He accused the judiciary of being part of this criminal syndicate. Then how do you appoint the same judiciary to investigate? Because the judiciary itself, according to the allegations that by the KZN commissioner, should be investigated by this commission of inquiry. If the judiciary is under investigation, how do you have a judicial?
So what would have been the alternative then? It seems to be what you're painting would be a no-win situation where no one
could have
has the authority to investigate.
He could have appointed a commission of inquiry, number one, that's not headed by the judiciary. Doesn't need to be a judicial commission of inquiry. That's one. Because the judiciary itself.
So as in headed by, say, a senior advocate, for example?
Well, or headed by a senior whatever person. It doesn't need to be an advocate, or headed by an advocate or whatever, but not by the judiciary. Because the judiciary itself is under investigation. Number two, politically, the logic of a commission of inquiry to us is quite questionable. General Mkhwanazi made it clear that there are 121 dockets, right? The country wants to see those dockets being processed. Those dockets can't be processed by a judicial commission of inquiry.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the point at all of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry, the way I understand it, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, will probe whether there was malfeasance in the decision to close the political killings task team and transfer those dockets. So what was the motive behind all of that?
Even that's a criminal nature. It's obstructing justice. It's a criminal case.
Yeah.
I mean, the minister who did that, if it's found he did it as the general alleges, right, for mischievous purposes, he should go, be arrested, present his case in front of a court of law.
Right. Lastly then, let me ask you about what's wrong with appointing soon-to-be Minister Firoz Cachalia. What about, he's empowered by the Constitution to appoint, as you said, as you quoted it for yourself, to appoint and dismiss ministers.
Yeah, so the president is basically allowed to appoint 2 ministers outside cabinet, 2 ministers, as per Section 913C that you correctly quoted. But the Section 98 is very clear that an acting minister needs to be appointed from serving members of the cabinet.
Yes.
Even deputy ministers cannot act.
Yeah. But that's an easy flaw, though, to actually fix, and I'm pretty sure you've picked up. He can appoint him as minister in the presidency.
Then that's what
with
he
no portfolio.
and that's what he should have done.
I'm seconding you to act.
But that's what he should have.
Yeah, I'm pointing out that that's...
Yeah, but that's what he should have done. What he has done so far is not constitutional.
Okay.
That is what he should have then done.
Yeah.
Because we can't say, okay, he meant to fix it. His appointment was he's appointing him as an acting minister.
Yeah.
And he cannot do that.
All right. Because of time, I have to leave it there. But thank you for coming through and having this conversation with me. That's Dr. Mthanti of the uMkhonto weSizwe Party, speaking to us ahead of the hearing of the urgent application before the Constitutional Court challenging the president's decision.